I decided to explore the career of a forensic scientist. I chose this career since I find it very interesting. I am interested in studying forensics, including studying evidence such as reading fingerprints and tracking DNA. In the future, I hope to major in forensic psychology and eventually become a criminal lawyer. A forensic scientist is related to what I would like to do. By studying this career, I can become more familiar with the science of what I hope to study and to become more familiar of what forensics really are. Forensic science began thousands of years ago. Its earliest roots date back to ancient Greek and Roman society. Lots of knowledge about production, use, and symptoms of different poisons made it possible to identify use in previously undetected murders. In 44 BC, the Roman physician Antistius examined the body of Julius Caesar and was able to conclude that even though the dictator was stabbed 23 times, only one wound through his chest caused his actual death. This is widely regarded as the first recorded autopsy. Fingerprinting was also an earlier form of forensic science. The ancient Chinese used fingerprints to identify business documents. In 1892, a eugenicist named Sir Francis Galton created the first system for classifying fingerprints. Since Sir Edward Henry, Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police of London, later developed his own system in 1896 based on the direction, flow, pattern, and other characteristics of fingerprints. This system, called the Henry Classification System, became the standard for criminal fingerprinting techniques all over the world. However, earlier, in 1935, Henry Goddard became the first person to physically analyze a bullet and connect it to the murder weapon. Furthermore, a team of scientists at the Aerospace Corporation in California developed a method for detecting gunshot residue using scanning electron microscopes in the 1970s, and in 1836, a Scottish chemist named James Marsh established a chemical test to detect arsenic. Other tests were developed in the mid-1900s to analyze blood, saliva, semen, and other body fluids, as well as to make blood tests more precise. Due to all of the new forensic techniques discovered in the early 20th century, law enforcement decided that a group of people needed to be established to analyze evidence found at crime scenes. By the end of the 20th century, forensic scientists had many high-tech tools for analyzing evidence, including DNA analysis to digital fingerprinting techniques. Forensic scientists provide scientific evidence for use in courts of law to support the prosecution or defense in criminal and civil investigations. They search and trace material associated with crimes such as blood and other body fluids, hairs, fibers from clothing, paint and glass fragments, tire marks, and flammable substances used to start fires. They write their finding as a formal statement or report. However, forensic scientists may have to attend court trials to provide more information. Depending on a degree of chemistry, biology, or drugs and toxicology, a forensic scientist's responsibilities differ. In chemistry, the examination of paint, chemicals, including fire investigation and accident reconstruction, is included. DNA testing and the examination of minute contact traces such as blood, hair, clothing fibers, etc. are done for biology-focused scientists. And lastly, for drugs and toxicology, testing for restricted drugs, examining tissue specimens for poison detection, and the analysis of blood and urine samples for alcohol, for example in drinking driving offenses, take place. Some more typical responsibilities of a forensic scientist are analyzing samples such as hair, body fluids, glass, paint, and drugs in the laboratory, applying techniques such as microscopy and genetic fingerprinting, sorting evidence, attending crime scenes, recording findings, putting data in specific computer programs, reviewing and supervising the work of assistants, presenting results of work in written form or by giving oral evidence, researching, and developing new techniques.
Created using Powtoon.